Hi loves! Today's video is gonna be a little bit different because I want to show you how I actually in practice lead myself through challenging moments, through bad days, through quote unquote failures, because I feel like my mission here it's not only to inspire other women to love themselves and to create lives that they love and to get rid of the expectations and all the things that are that have conditioned them to live a life that maybe doesn't fulfill them. It's not only that, but a big part of loving yourself it's knowing how to be with yourself and how to let yourself through the moments that don't feel good. And I was about to do a activation before this, and so I could feel like even more like uplifting, but I decided not to do it. I decided to come here as the way that I'm feeling, that it's not the most high vibe, but yeah, to actually take you through what I do when this happens. And yeah, I mean, last night I didn't sleep well. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was awake for like 2 hours. So, of course, for me, sleep, it's kind of like my number one thing. When that's not right, then I feel it has like a cascade effect um, throughout my day. But what I decided to do today was, even though I was really tired and I could just continue to sleeping because I didn't have any appointment, I decided to wake up anyways with my alarm and go to the gym, which at least took me out of my head because I was kind of like overthinking. That's why the the whole not sleeping came in. And so I went there for 45 minutes. I put a podcast that it's a comedy podcast that I love. And yeah, for those 45 minutes, I was like, oh, yes, let's go. We're up again. And of course, there are days where our moods are up and down, especially as women in different part of the cycle that also affects a lot. Um, but the thing is, what I decided to do today and what I've been decided to do for myself over the past year is to actually stay with myself, to try as much as I can to not numb myself and go and spend 3 hours on social media scrolling or just distracting myself, but to be with the feeling, with the uncomfortable feeling, with the feeling of like, yeah, today I'm not feeling really well, but I'm not gonna try to distract myself from it. And I think there is a lot of wisdom in being there for yourself, in listening not only to the good parts but also to the bad parts, because they show you what still needs to be refined, let's say. And for me, for example, I have a quite clear routine that I do every day when I wake up. It's a short one. It takes 20 minutes, half an hour tops. I do a short meditation, I journal, and I stretch. Those are the three things that I normally do. And something that I realize, and maybe you can see this for yourself too, it's that a lot of the days, and I would say probably 80% of the days that are bad days or that I'm in this weird mood, most of those days are days that I do not start with those three things that I know ground me and make me feel safe and make me feel supported by myself. And that's the way that you start seeing those patterns, and that's the way that you can actually change your identity. And taking these small actions, and something that, as I was telling you before, I've been doing this last year, is staying with myself and also keep the promises that I made to myself. For example, I promised myself that I was going to start posting daily videos in YouTube this year. And I started that. I think this is probably the 9th video, and I could have skipped it today because I'm not feeling the most like high positive vibe. But this is also a lesson. Just staying in, doing what you say that you will do for yourself, because that builds self-trust. And also because I am sure that there is someone out there that needed to hear the exact thing that I am saying today. I'm sure there is someone out there that is trying to let herself through the challenging days, through the bad days, and this might help you, this might help her make something click. Because sometimes we need to hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until it finally clicks. And also how to lead yourself, and how I lead myself through quote unquote failures. Like, for example, I'm gonna be 100% transparent. Yesterday I had a webinar and no one showed up. I didn't have a lot of people sign up, but sometimes attendance, it's about always like 10-20%. But this time no one showed up. And what I did, because when that used to happen to me in the past, I would just close the meeting and that's it. Whatever, there's no one there. What's the point? What I did yesterday was did the whole presentation. I did the whole webinar. Because it's not about the people being there, it's about my commitment. And my commitment was that I had that webinar from 3 to 4. So I was going to do the webinar from 3 to 4. If there is no one there, at least I get the recording and the practice. If there's someone there, it might help them. Again, it's about shifting those little things and changing those actions. That it could be, or you could think that it doesn't make any sense to do a webinar if no one was there. It doesn't make any sense to keep carrying with it even if no one else was there. But what that is doing, it's building the muscle of trusting myself, because I know I will do it independently of the outcome, independently of the results. And that's the mindset, and that's the energy that ends up bringing results. Because imagine that if that happened once, twice, 3 times, and those 3 times I would just not do it, the energy that I am giving away is that I don't really want that enough. I don't really care about it enough. But I do care about it. So instead of seeing that as a quote unquote failure, I choose to see it as an opportunity to practice my speech, to see how it would look like in real life with the people. What are the changes that I would make? And to have the recording in place if at any point I wanted for something else. So it's those little tweaks. It's actually not about these big, huge life changes. It's about leading yourself with consistency, not for others, but for yourself. Because again, that's how you build self-trust. Self-trust is built when you keep the promises that you made to yourself. And if you are saying to yourself every day, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna post this thing on social media, I'm gonna send this email, and you don't do it, one day, the next day, the other day, the other day, of course you're not going to trust yourself. Like, imagine it from a different perspective. If someone in your life promises something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and they don't do it, will you trust them? The same goes for yourself. So I guess my message here is, whenever you are having a challenging time, a bad day, a bad couple of hours, because sometimes it's not a whole day, it's just something that happens, and we tend to stay longer with that when it's sometimes not needed. But whenever you're going through that, think about it. How are you leading yourself through it? What can you learn from it? What are the patterns that you can see? And what are the little changes, the little promises that you can keep to yourself to make yourself feel better? Because at the end of the day, the only person that will take you outside of those bad days, it's you. You can outsource that to other people, but I highly recommend you don't do it. I highly recommend you learn how to lead yourself through those moments. So when they happen, you know that you have your back. Sending you so much love, and yes, I'm here daily, so see you tomorrow.